Hi guys, it's Tuesday morning. I'm down at Meadow Lake. It's the 16th of June. We travelled down yesterday, myself and Peter. The borders opened yesterday morning, so we got a ferry at 7 o'clock. Put it down there in his van, and we got here. Didn't get down till about 5:30. Time was set up, everything else. It was too late to do any videoing, so we were just knackered. So got some rods out and got ourselves sorted. I'm fishing over in the double swim, as I call it. Peter's over the far side. Sort of split up and tackle the water that way. There's only two of us on here. I thought if we doubled up in this swim, Peter's in the fish, I think. You just get a situation where after a couple of days the fish just move over to the far side of the lake and just move away. Whereas if we fish opposite each other, we've got a chance of bouncing the fish around between us. So grey, cool, showery, rainy for the next few days, so conditions look good. Like I say, it's nice to be back down after the lockdown and then the borders being closed. Pain in the arse, but a few days fishing ahead, so really looking forward to it. Turn the camera out, show you what's happening. Right, darken that down a little bit. Peter's over there. He definitely looks like he's playing a fish to me. I normally fish over in that swim, I like it over there, but I haven't fished over the opposite side this summer. I'm on, I don't know, 8-9 years. So I just fancy a change. Where Peter's fishing, there's a nice, not even a spot, just all it is where the gravel, hard bottom meets the silt. This is normally about 14 wraps. There's no feature there, just where it is, but I just found that for me that's a good spot. A lot of people fish out to the post as well, that's a good area. But let's say the boy's in. Just to show over here, this is when I'm fishing, down here. See the rods down there somewhere, there we go. And I'm basically fishing over there, not over there, I'm only fishing 11 1/4 wraps out, so not very far out. I'm not bait boating, just spomming and using the training stick. Want me bait boat, but I do know I haven't used it in years. Just can't be bothered. Always bring it, so I think there'll be one day I need it and I won't have it, so I always bring it and always take it home. Fish have showed up there. That looks good for some action, so if I get in the hint, I'll come back and let you know. Catch you later. Right, just had this nice £29.7 common in the rain, or in rain. Had to put the camera inside the divot, it's lashing down. Okay. Oh, quick look, you get it back. As you see, dead lively. That's all how lively they are on the bank. I've never known a trip where they're having so wild on the bank. Right, there we go. £29.7. Nice little cobbler. Put a little wafter. Changing this right now, I'm on for a mesh bag rather than a solid bag. Just try something different. I'll tell you about it later when the weather's better. Anyway, get her back now. Right, heavy rain again, just had this one at 35. And just before it, I had one in absolute torrential rain, just sitting in the net now, waiting to be photographed. I just wait for the rain to slow a bit. This one rattled off. Right, so 35. This, I'll get the other one out, have a look at that, weigh it up and have a look. Right, next one back, get the one out. This one I had right in the middle of a thunderstorm, not thunder, sorry, rainstorm, but it's absolutely damn mental. £47.3. It is try lifting, but it is absolute. Rest it. There. £47.3 of absolute mental carp. Lovely fish though. Well pleased with this. It's absolute beastie. Look at that. Lovely fish. Right. Get her back. Sort my life out and get on with get the rods back out. Right. Thursday evening. Lucky it's not raining right now, but it was earlier. Just had this one. 35.2. Straight after the other one. It's hard to get 2 rods in the water actually at the minute. Not that I'm complaining. Lovely colour, new yellow. Right, 35.2. Another lovely fish. So, lovely coloration, nice yellows. Dark on the back. Like his borders as well. Right, get back, try and get all 3 rods in now. That's something to eat. Morning, Friday morning about 8 o'clock, sun's out. I think now the rain has passed over. I don't think there's going to be any more rain for the rest of our trip. And then, it's Friday now. Normally, we didn't arrive till Monday, late Monday. Normally we'd be packing up tomorrow, but we've actually got another week to go. I haven't had a trip where I've had nearly, 2 weeks or less, just under 2 weeks for 15 years, so it's a bit of a result this. The guys who were originally booked on decided they didn't want to come out because of the COVID and the sort of travel restriction. I think they probably wish they were coming and coming now, but hey ho, it's to our advantage. Didn't have anything tonight. Up a few times tonight, I heard fish jumping up the deep end. Just had a run on the left hand rod and bloody thing fell off. That's the first fish I've dropped since I can remember. It must have been for about 30 or 40 fish, so I can't complain. It's been a long time. Those rigs have done me well. It's just a sort of I use it in solid bags as it's a multi-rig, but with a totally stripped back hook length apart from the loop, which I keep the coating on. Now the one that I'm using it, I've changed it now. I've moved them all from solid bag to a mesh bag. So I've gone for a typical multi-rig, just a coated strip with the coated loop. But the fish that I had that I just dropped, that was on one where actually I stripped the coating for the loop and just kept the coating behind it. I don't know, just thought I'd try something. Like a slip D rig, I suppose. A lot of people call it nowadays, don't they? I like multi-rigs because I can just change the hook so quick. I'm not a fan of Ronnie rigs because I think people drop a lot of fish on those. With a multi-rig, I just generally, like I say, that's the first fish in, what, 40 odd fish I've dropped. I just don't seem to drop them on that. Probably sod law now, I'd probably drop a few, but I was just wondering if I drop another fish on that one with a loop, like the soft loop, I'll just go back to the stiff loop again. Don't know why I changed it. I've caught so many fish on the normal setup, but like anything in life, we'll change it around a bit to see if it an advantage or makes any difference at all. So it's a lovely day, sun's out, beats all that rain, but how that'll affect the fishing I don't know. Peter tells me he had ones in the night, 17 pounder, probably about the smallest fish in the lake. But I did wonder, it was quite cold last night, and I wondered whether as soon as that sun gets on the water they might feed, and that was in the shallowest part. I had that on my left hand rod, right, much more to the left into the shallower area. So whether they're cruising around in that shallow bit of water, and that's why I had to pick up on that rod. Normally it's right hand or the middle rod. Quite often I've been fishing two rods and it's always been the right hand rod, and it hardly had anything on the left. So that's interesting, it came on the left hand rod. Always looking for patterns, aren't there? Things to try and work out. I'm probably going to move one of them down to the shallows again today. I haven't had anything down there for about 24 hours, but I think as it now warms up, I think fish can start moving down into the shallows. As that water temperature starts picking up, all those fish have been congregated up the deep end. Did hear a couple of fish down the shallows last night, so it's time to move a rod down there, put some bait in, just keep tricking it in, because I think as the week goes on they'll move back down there. Right, kettle's boiled, time for coffee, so I'll catch up with you later. Right, I said I'd show you the rig that I'm using. Really simple inline system. It's using Fox components. It's an inline running setup. Using their, it has to be their lead to go with their insert. Other leads just don't seem to work. The insert is just like a tadpole that fixes through. Take the insert out of the lead and put this tadpole through, and that butts into it. And it's a size 7 quick change swivel. Has to be a size 7 to make it work, otherwise it pulls out and it doesn't have the same effect. But basically, got the lead. The only thing I do with the lead, I've taken a little round file and I just filed it out a bit more, because I want that insert. Because basically, lots of what I'm slack line fishing, and I just want to make sure that even if we get drop backs, get any sort of range that get indication. And with this, you get the bolt effect because it picks it up, lead there. But also, if it, as soon as it picks it up, bolts it, and then shakes its head, that just falls off. And then no matter which way the fish runs, I'm getting an indication. If it runs towards me, that line's running, I'm getting an indication at my end. So it's been working. I've been using it at home. I might just try it. I've been using it this year. Up to now I've been using just a standard in the bag system, inline lead system. But I wanted this because I wanted to go to a fluoro. The lake I'm fishing, not very wide, it's only about 7 acres, but fish come really close. I wanted a fluoro, but I wanted to fish a far margin, but with slack line. And with this I can, I'm fishing like literally a foot off the bank, the far side, slack line, and I'm getting runs. So it works perfectly. So I brought it over here. Quite like it because also the margins here are quite shallow. I haven't had a fish pick up another line yet, so it's 12 fish, and I haven't had a single pick up on the other line, so in that respect it's working perfectly as well. And all my lines are on the bottom, out of the way. So that's the one I'm using. I've been using it in a solid bag, and I use it with a multi-rig as I've always do, but where I strip out the braid behind the knot, so you've got a fixed loop. Typical, just have a look, multi-rigs, what they look like, but normal loop. But then I strip all the braid, or the coating off the braid behind, so that it's nice and supple when I put it in a solid bag. I've had a lot of fish like that this trip, but I thought I'd have a bit of a change, I don't know why, but I got onto a mesh bag, and rather than have a supple hook link, I've gone for a standard semi-stiff hook link. I use the SP hook links, I think they're brilliant. Standard multi-rig, just clipped onto here with a sleeve as well, so that's working. And then I just put just nick on a mesh bag, but because you're using it with a multi-rig, don't just nick it onto the end of the hook, because the way it casts, I'll actually pull the hook and close down the loop. So when I've tied the mesh bag, I'll just leave a bit of a tail, and I'll push the tail through the actual loop for the multi-rig, and then just tie that off and then nick the hook on, so it just stops that loop closing up when you actually cast out. And that's working. Like I say, I think there's probably a lot of difference, but just fancy the change. Anyway, you want to give it a go? It definitely works. Just on 10, Friday morning. Just thought I'd show you the lake. It's looking lovely out there. Bit of a, not a nip, but just feels a bit fresh this morning so far. You wouldn't like to go down to shorts and t-shirt yet, that's for sure. And coming towards the end of June, about 19th today. And like I say, those getting hotter and then hot over the next few days. We're lucky that we've got another week to go, but it'll be up to 27, 28, even Thursday, I think, by about Wednesday, Thursday next week. So it can be a hot one. So I suppose make the most of this. Lovely weather. Come on, look out. What's interesting, apart from the first couple of days, I haven't had anything at night. Everything's been coming during the day now. Whether that's because it's got colder and water temperature's down a bit. I haven't checked water temperature in a while. But one if the water temperature's down a bit and they've actually needed that sun on it just to warm the water up a little bit before they really start feeding. And then as you go over the next few days, as it starts to get hotter, they'll actually go back to nighttime feeding. Interesting to see. Right, as I say, it looks lovely out there. I'll sit back, get a brew on, have a coffee, and think about my plan for what I'm going to do today, which is probably just sit here and just enjoy life. Catch you later. Right, here we go. 6 pound, very, very angry fish. Right, happy with that one. Tennis lot. I haven't had one this time of morning, but conditions are spot on. Peter's had one opposite, so looking good. Right, massive lot of fish. 53 pound, 3 ounces. So I'm well happy with that. Well chuffed, 53 pound 3. Big old warrior of a fish. So well chuffed, got a 50 out from all the forces I've had, so it's been a trip now, mental trip. Oh, I'll take some photos, get back to it a bit wild. So, 36 pounds 3. Beautiful fish. So got some lovely markings on it. Looks like it's coming out, that light's really coming through the trees now, so it's dappled it. So I'm not sure if you can see it that well. But, so lovely fish. Right, I'll get back, reel in, go do some work for a few hours. Right, catch you later. Right, as I was saying, it's Saturday morning. Got to show the lake. It's beautiful out there, dead still. And for the first time, 8 in the morning and it's getting hot. Normally I'd have hoodie on, sun's up and hot, and that's say every day now it's going to be like this, short weather. But last night it temperature dropped, really cold. I think that's probably the last time that's going to happen. I think at night time temperatures still going to be picking up as well. So the water temperature dropped. I didn't realise actually it's 3 degrees it dropped from yesterday afternoon to now. Just over 19.3 and it was 22 yesterday afternoon. So the temperature's dropped away. I think that's maybe why the fishing's been much better in the afternoons. I think once you get over that sort of 21, 22 mark, that's when they seem to be coming on the feed. Saying that, they were boshing out last night, listening to them right through the night, and they're boshing up in the deep end. So they were active, but not feeding. Peter had nothing at all last night. It just shows they weren't really on the feed, whereas in the afternoon if they're getting regular action, or have been. So I'm sure it must be something to do with that water temperature being at the optimum level for feeding. I think what we'll see is a lot more night time, early morning, as the water temperature picks up as the week goes on, because I think it'll be up to about 22 in the mornings overnight, and in the mornings in a few days. Or because it's just massive high pressure hot weather up to nearly 30, or up around about 30 a couple of days, maybe just kill the fish altogether. Just have to wait and see. What I'll do is I'll reel in soon, go do a few hours work, come back, bait up, slip the rods back out, hope we get out before sort of the early afternoon feed time. Try and get a few more fish. Right, catch you later. Right. Saturday morning, get the light coming down from the camera there, on the lens, but can't do much about it. Saturday morning. Good news is we've got a whole week left, so look forward to this now. Whatever happens, we've had a fantastic trip. I've had 15 fish. I've got 5 or 6 forces out, so up to 49. So it's been a fantastic result. And so we've got a whole week left. So it's one of those trips, you know. Been well worth the wait, or the hassle of the lockdown, wondering when we'll be able to open up well, the fishery has been open, but whether we'll be able to travel. So fine to be here, just magical. Anyway, let's try this one. Then we'll reel in, do a bit of work for the day. So £37. Lovely fish. So reel in, probably been an hour, have a cup of coffee, reel in, and do some work. I think most of the action seems to be coming in the afternoon now, so the water temperature gets up to about 22 degrees, that seems to be when it happens. So, like to have this one, but it'll be later on. So get on, do some work for a few hours and then come back and give it another go. Okay. There we are. £46. Well pleased with that. Few fish showing out now, over to my left over in the bay. So every chance of another one tonight, and it was after evening. Right, get some photos, put that. We don't like it. Right, so £36.2, happy with this. Seems to be all afternoon action now at the moment, last couple of days. Nothing overnight, not complaints, nice catch into the day, and it's dry. Happy days. Right, get it back, try again. Right, 38.5. Hopefully I catch one of the big sisters. That would be nice. Well, the smaller ones in here now. So they're all spawned out at the moment. They spawned about 3 weeks ago, so all the weights are down. Probably been over 30 a few weeks ago, but who cares? Just nice to catch them again. Right, get back, get the rod out. It's Sunday afternoon, just about 2 o'clock. Had a lovely shower this morning. Reeled in at 9, went down, had a shower, tidied up, came back, put the rods out for an hour or two, and then put some bait out. Water temperature's still about 21 degrees. A bit cooler today, a bit more cloud about, but it's going hot. later on today, tomorrow, and then hot the rest of the week. Like hot. I found it on here. I've got a thermometer in the water. Once it hits 22, that seems to just bring the fish on. That seems a magical number. This week I've had no fish at night now, apart from the first, when we had real sort of changeable weather, rain, everything else, right at the start of our trip. On Sunday, on the Monday, we came down on Monday, so sort of Tuesday into Wednesday now. I had the first couple of nights. Since then, everything's come daytime and predominantly afternoon, evening, and like maybe one fish in the morning. Like had this morning, had a fish, but it seems to be the afternoons it kicks off. So once that water temperature just clicks over 22, the fish seem to come to feed, and they really start to show a lot. They crash out. I mean, it's the odd one showing out there, but nothing like last night or just the afternoon, evening. They were rolling, jumping, fizzing up, everything. So that seems to be the time. So it might take a couple more hours today because it's not as hot. There's a lot more cloud about. But as I say, it is going hot. It's going up 27 and then up to about 30. So it's going to be pretty damn hot. And I think the nighttime temperatures are down to about 6 degrees last night. It's cold and really misty out there. Yeah, that's a fish that's out there. Let's turn it now. You won't see it, but you might see the splash or the mop. It may decide to give it another go. Love it. Just right over there. And that really light green bush. Just to the right of that and that water there. That's what they shut a lot out there actually. Do crash out a lot there. So I don't want to put a bait right up there because it's a safe area for them. I'm fishing only 11¼ wraps, just casting out, so these mesh bags, and I'm picking them up as they move down. I'm just certain if I put baits right up there, I should do, but I know what happened. I'll just spook the fish out from the area, start catch them in that area. They'll spook out and move across the lake, maybe more into where Peter is, or even down the lake. This way, we've got a safe area over there, no lines, not getting caught. And I say I've had 23 fish so far, so what I'm doing is working. They're happy over there, I'm catching. So, you know, got another week to go, 6 nights to go, so, you know, just got to do more of the same really. Just keep that going. Anyway, it's looking gorgeous out there. Just turn that down a bit. That area over there comes alive at night with fish. Let's say about 3/4 way across and right over to the left there, right in over there. I absolutely love it. Let's say I'm only fishing, let's say, just down here, 2 rods out towards that aerator system over there, to the left that big green bush. Out there towards that aerator and to the right, and 11¼ wraps, really close, nothing fancy, and I'm picking up a lot of fish, so what I'm doing is working, so just keep at it. Right, I'll give you an update later, hopefully with some fish. I'll be surprised if it doesn't happen, but then that'd be a kiss of death now saying that. So we'll see what happens. Catch you later. There we are. £47 3 ounce. Oh beast. Lovely fish. Lovely start to Sunday. Right, I haven't got any work to do today, so Really nice. Have a shower and come back and give it a proper go today. Well pleased with this one. Right, let's get back. Right, there we go. £31.9. Beautiful common. So still time. Conditions are good. Hopefully one or two more. I have to be honest, I'm really honest here. I've had a lot of fish today. 15 240s today already, so in some ways, this is the last one. I won't be disappointed today. Right, put it back and get the rod out. So £41.8 this fish. Absolute beast. But look at the scales on that. Does not like photo taken, does it? Right, I'm getting this back before it kills me. There we go. £41.8, lovely. Saturday afternoon, just on 5. Looking out over sort of the bay area. Have a look round. That's the area I'm fishing out to. And 2 of my rods anyway. And all bar one fish have come out from here. 16 fish have come out from here. And those fish have really moved in here now. With that, there's one. Hope you saw that. That warm weather. These fish have really moved into that bay. Into the shallow water. And to be they're out to the left of me as well. Really bubbling up in the silt out there, feeding. I haven't had him for a couple of hours, but this is sort of about time it can go off. So he's starting to see a fair bit of activity around. The fish are crashing regularly. Every time you hear a massive splash. Warm now, 20 degrees. Not flies about. Totally different to last couple of days where it's been showery on and off. Cooler, not cooler. It's like it's going hot over the next couple of days. Next 2 days not so bad, low 20s, and then it's going to be up 28, 30 till Saturday. So it feels hot enough now. It's been more humid because of cloud. It's felt quite humid today. Just sit back and just enjoy it. It's lovely out there. Really expect it now. Well, those rods are just going to rip off in a minute. Watters on both those. So my right hand rod, which is out to that spot that I found yesterday, that's on the pop up, little multi-rig pop opener, a little solid bag, a little bit of salmon oil, literally just a bag on its own, no freebies. This spot I'm putting out a mix of fish meal and maple mega nut, silent baits, maple mega nut, more of these. the real carbohydrate bait, those ones. Leave them out too well a day, you can see them start to go a bit white as the sugars are starting to release. The yeast in it are breaking carbohydrate down into sugar, and you really do see them start to 2 days, and they're absolutely fine. You chop them up into crumb, put them into like a bucket of mix. You actually feel it really warm on your hand. It really is. So the enzymes are breaking it down. So 2 days I find that absolutely fired, absolutely brilliant. So what I did when I brought them down, I literally left them, didn't put them in cool boxes, literally left them out on the way down, so they had 24 hours of sort of activity. And then stuck them in the freezer down here. So at least I've done 24 hours, then I have to leave them out for 2 days. So then I'd sort of take them out and start using them over sort of 24 hours later. So absolutely prime. And then anything I have left over, stick in the cool box when I go back. That's straight out the freezer, in the cool box and get home. They'll still be frozen, and then they'll be perfect to use straight out the freezer when I get home. By the way it's going, I'm not sure if I'll have a lot of bait left over. Anyway, just say, looking perfect out there. If you get anything, I'll put the camera back on and show you what I've had. Load of bubbles just coming up from the left out here. You probably won't be able to see it down there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Just down there. There's a whole load of bubbles. About 50 yards out. Just down there. But I mean there's tons of bubbles out. It's out towards right at the post, there's tons of bubbles coming up. Those fish on that bottom just rooting around everywhere at the minute. Just not on my bait. Then Peter hasn't had anything now for 24 hours. Now for 48 hours he had about 20 fish. When the conditions were cold and wet, they were off that dam and they moved over his side late, and he was just getting multiple takes, 2 at once, literally just hammering them out. As it's warming up now, they're holding out more off the dam, my side, going at this bay area. He hasn't had a touch. But the good thing here is it will change another day or so, a bit of pressure, and they'll move back over to him. And so we've got a whole week ahead of us, so you know, it's going to, conditions will be such that the fish will be moving around. He'll have a lot more action yet. He's had 27 fish, so whatever happens, he's had a fantastic trip. Just over £50. Right, catch you later. Look at that. What a fight. Absolutely didn't want to give up at all. Just went for it. Mental. Right, get back. There's a lot of activity out there, bubbling, fish crashing. So, got to go up to something else. Get back. It's Monday afternoon, about 2 o'clock. Water temperature's up to 23 now. Reeled in at 11. Put some bait out. Went down the cabin, had a shower and just put some batteries on charge. I wandered around to see Peter. Sat with him for an hour or so, had a chat. So back to swim now. Put the rods out. Not much showing, but in the wind's turned, it's coming from the sort of northeasterly at the moment. I think it's going to last long. It's going to turn tomorrow back to westerly. It's quite a light wind at the moment. It's warming up. I say the water temperature's right up. 1 degree warmer than its hottest yesterday. I thought they might have switched on by now, but to be honest, the rods haven't been out that long, so hopefully about 3 o'clock. Seems to be about time to about 3. I thought it was more temperature, but maybe it's more temperature and time, or maybe it's just time of day. That's the thing with fishing. You have to sit here and try and work it out, and you still get it wrong. Going back to solid bags on 2 of the rods. Did a lot of had a lot of success early part of the week on just straight solid bags. Oh no, I just went back to I've left the 3rd rod with the mesh bags on that one. Just hooked on with a pop-up rig. Still the same inline setup, so you know, whether it's in the bag or mesh bag hooked to, it's the same setup. Yeah, I tend to do a bit different to a lot of people is when they're using solid bags. I tend to use a hook length about 5 inch rather than, a lot of people seem to go for about 3 inch, but I find with the bigger fish, there's big guts on them at the bellies, big old fish, so you've got to tilt down, pick that bait up. And if you only got a really short hook length, there's a chance that they only just catches on the edge of the lips. So with 5 inches, you give them a bit more room for them to take it in the mouth and tilt up and hook themselves. And well, it works for me, so I'm happy with it. And I use that back in the UK where I'm fishing with the 20s and 30s, or over here where I'm fishing, you know, 40s, 50s plus. It's all about confidence. Whatever works for you, try it, you know, and then stick with it. So the conditions are good. Nice to see a few fish showing. I mean, the odd fish showing, but nothing like yet. But then generally it's sort of 3 onwards, they seem to really start to show a lot. This morning they were all over my baited area. I set it out to 11. I was going to reel in about 9 odd. There's a bit of drizzle, light rain, and they were showing all over my bait, washing out over it. I set it out to 11. Peter then had the fish, and I thought, bollocks, I'm completely giving up at that point. It's not going to happen. I need to go and clean up, have a shower, and sort myself out. Regroup, start again. So, turn around, show you the lake, show you all my setup. No different to before, but hey ho. There we are. Just turn that ISO down a bit. Did put a bit of salmon oil in with the solid bags, the 2 solid bags. So I'm getting a little bit of slip pumping up from that. But hopefully 3 o'clock onwards I'll be turning the camera again, showing the fish, so we'll see what happens. Catch you later. Lake's looking lovely this morning. It's just showing. You hear the odd one this time of day, but mainly it's in the afternoon. 8 o'clock in the morning now. Water temperature is 21 degrees. As I keep saying, the magic number seems to be 22 degrees. That's when the temperatures switch on. Saying that, I had the one this morning, so hopefully. I've been still out there. Overcast at the moment, but after today it'll be blue skies, high pressure, hot, and then come sort of Friday into Saturday. At the moment they're talking about thunderstorms. You know, it would be perfect just as we pack up in the thunderstorm. But hey, it's what it is. Yeah, looking lovely out there. I'll just show you that. I'll sit down and have a coffee. And just chill and wait for another one. Right, catch you later. It's 37.7. So it's nice to get off the marsh again. Grey fish, this one though. Yeah. It's unusual. Like I say, a lot more quite sort of browny, yellowy brown. This one's a grey old thing. Right, get back and hopefully have another one. Here we go. Let's go back. Let's just check the water temperature. It's up to 22 degrees and it's rattled off again. It's bad, always seems to be that temperature. This one's £37. Boil some fish. There we go. So, first one this afternoon. I had one first thing this morning before I reeled in to go for a shower. But normally it's about this time, 3:30, 4 o'clock, it kicks off. Just as that water temperature gets up, you start having it. So hopefully a few more to come. So get a girl back. Lovely. I had nothing in the last 24 hours where I was. So I've moved around onto the dam. Literally, I put the rods out. Well, one rod, 1 minute has been out there. I've had this absolute stunning 31 and a half. Beautiful fish. Bit dark, I know, but oh, beautiful fish. 31 and a half pounds. Literally in the water, 1 minute. Right, get back to get the other rods out. Now what I'll do is I'll shed a new swim. Literally I'm fishing in the same bay but from the opposite side where the fish are showing more, and also I'll have to fish, I've got to cast miles across. So I'll come round here and fish 20 yards out. So, right. It's 4:30 in the afternoon on Monday and we're blanking. I haven't had anything since that one this morning. Peter had a £40 grassy early hours, which he didn't photograph. It was just massive, and it was cows hanging out the end of the sling, and they had mint on the bank, so he just weighed it and put it straight back. But lovely fish. And they're just all muscle, those things. When they're over 40, they're just massive creatures. But no action. Normally it's kicked off by now. Water temperature's up to 24 degrees. Normally it happens at 22 degrees and about 3 o'clock, or just after 3, we start getting action, both of us. Today it's now, I'll say 24 degree water temperature. Cool breeze blowing straight into us at the moment, coming easterly, northeasterly. So I'm sitting in the shade and it's coolish. But it's a lot of fish showing out there. Big one showed near the post a while ago. But lots of activity. I wonder if their sort of feeding activity might change now. Now it's going, this is the first of the sort of clear days, there's no more rain. Well, right till the end of the week, typically. whether any action we get become late afternoon, evenings, the sun dips, temperatures drop overnight. As I say, apart from the first 2 nights, virtually everything has come daytime. But that may change when it becomes more night fishing. I know when Liam was fishing there last year in June, his fish would come in generally at night, but when the weather turned and he had a lot of rain the last few days, he was catching in the daytime. It may be. I'll leave the rods out about another hour. I think it's about 5 and then I might freshen them up again, put fresh bags out, then and try and just leave them right through to dark. Let's see if we can nick one. So it's unusual for both of us to have gone this long without catching one. First day, it was the first day where we've had it clear and sort of, sun's out, high pressure now. So whether that's just putting not down but probably up near the top. Just cruising with water at the moment. We'll see, might have to rethink. Peter says he's been down the shallows, I've looked down there. Went down there about half an hour ago, hasn't seen anything. And the fish that I've seen sort of show have all been up this top end of the lake, so seem to still be here. Just gotta sit it out, and if not, start rethinking what to do. Catch you later. Right, it's 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. I've now moved back to my original swim. So we got back over, packed up at 10, got over by sort of and set up by about 11. Got everything set up, got some bait out, and then went down there to shower, clean up. Sweaty work, especially this temperature at the moment. So I've done all that, got back, put the rods out, just sitting back and trying to stand shade. It can be about 30 today, and still fish showing though. They've been showing out in front of my left hand rods back where I was, and out straight out in the lake. So something positive. See what happens. Show you what it's like. So once again, at the old spot. Yeah, that's that right. They're showing out there, and they're showing out here as well, out in front. So put the rod back out towards that sort of on the far bank. There's a bit of a dead tree poking up. 16.5 rats out on the spot. It's a bit of a lumpy spot out there. I've had a couple of fish from it a few days ago, so just stuck it back out there again and hope. All on wafters, all in solid bags. That's what caught me a fish before, so no reason to change. If the fish are having it, hopefully we'll get a take, but obviously it's hot, so I don't expect much to happen now till later on this afternoon. But Pete this morning, he had 3. That's other reason I moved. I thought, well, he had 3 off 3 different spots out there. I thought, well, if they were in the bay, I'd have had one. Didn't really see anything close. It was showing right out in front of me here, and out in front of my sort of my left hand rods in that bay where I was originally fishing, and straight out in front of me here. So and we're showing right down the shallows, so clearly they've moved out. So I think it was the right decision. Last 3 days, and give it a go back in here, see how we get on. Like I say, you're only here for a week, well in our case 12 days, but you know, you have to, even though, you know, we've got the whole lake to ourselves, when you have, you know, when the lake's full, there's not much you can do. You've got to stay and swim, and also I think the pressure bounces the fish around more. But if there's only 2 of you, they quickly move away from the pressure where the lines are. Even though I'm using slack line, they know, and they move away into areas where you aren't fishing. So you'll be prepared, a bit more mobile, and move around, give it a bit of, you know, a bit of a chance, and just don't sit on your bum and hope they come to you, because invariably they won't. You've got to find them and fish to them. So let's see how it goes. I'll catch up with you later. It's 9:15, Tuesday evening. I would have had the camera out earlier, but let's see that. I would have had it out earlier, but it was roasting over here on the dam. It's too hot. I was hiding away the whole time. The sun is coming right into this bank, so shining right into the lens of the camera. It's moved across a bit now, cooled down a bit, thank God. And the lake's looking absolute stunning. Yeah. Fish just showed out a bit more to the right than you can see. But I can't turn around there, the sun's shining around there, go right in the lens. But not far from where I'm fishing, in that bay area again. But they have been showing further down the lake for the first time. As usual, since I've moved from that spot, the fish have moved down there. They know straight away. They know that someone's on here, and they've drifted down a bit further. Just shows in it. Just take literally hours, and they've drifted down. Haven't shown down there for the last, what, 7, 8 days. Within hours of me moving from the swim I was in down onto the dam, they've moved down actually in front of that spot. But like I say, I had one earlier within a minute casting out on this spot, so it was worth moving. There's still fish out in front of me, and you know, I'd been in there since Monday last week. It's Tuesday now, following week, so it's nice to actually have a change, fish it from a different spot. Also, if you catch from the same spot all the time, I think the fish get a bit pressured, start to get a bit wary of the area. At least from here, it's almost like starting afresh again. Spots that they haven't been fished on, so they might not be quite so wary. But conditions are totally different this week. You know, high pressure now, hot, really hot, whereas last week it was low pressure. We had a bit of rain on and off every day, a lot cooler, so 17, 16 degrees. You know, today was 27, high pressure. So I imagine the fishing's going to be quite hard for the next few days, but I've had 29 fish, so I can't complain. Whatever happens now, it's just nice to finish off my French fishing. Well, I doubt if I'll be out again this year now, actually fishing anyway. So just going to sit back, enjoy it, just make the most of it. So as usual, if I get something during the night or later on this evening, I'll get the camera out. If not, I'll catch up with you in the morning. Yeah, look, fish right down the shallows. Hope you saw that, right down the bottom. They have not shown there. We've seen one fish down there since we arrived. Literally since I've moved up here, there's been a couple of fish show down there now. Just shows you what they're like. They know straight away. their environment, they know. Look, another one right down there. Yeah, there's quite a few fish down there now. Just drifted down there. Weather, the hot weather as well. That would have made a difference, but I just wondered if I'd stayed in that swim though, whether they would be down or just still be up here in this bay area. If they'd just stayed up here. I think with me up here, some of them have drifted on down there. Right, I'll love and leave you. So I'll catch up in the morning unless I get something. And then I'll get the camera back on. Right then. Morning. Wednesday morning, about 6:30. I missed a couple of it. It's looking lovely out there. Look at that. Nothing during the night. So I've had nothing since I moved round here. That literally had fish as soon as I got round here yesterday. And I think the fish have moved down. Seen a few show this morning, much further across the bay. They've definitely moved away from me. And last night they're showing sort of level with the post, or beyond the post, which I haven't done the whole time. And I saw fish right down the bottom and over the spot I was fishing straight out in front of me from the other swim, 16.5 wraps out. So they've done me off. So give it till 10. And I've got a feeling I'm going to move back round to the original swim. I only moved out of it yesterday. It's a real ball ache packing up, but do you know what? You're only here for a week. You've got to make the most of it. It's red hot today, but if I keep it till 10 and do it before the sun gets up too high, I think I'll probably need to be back down there again. You know, they may move back up here, but I think they're spread around the lake more now, and that heat and sun, they'll be down those shallows a lot more. You know, he gave it a shout, gave it a go, had a fish straight away, so it paid off. But I think if I want, it's Wednesday, we go on Saturday morning, 3 more nights. I've probably got more chance now back down there again. So as much as it's a pain, I might have to move. Anyway, I'll catch up with you later, let you know. And obviously if I've seen it in the meantime, it may change my mind, but that's what I'm sort of thinking now. Right, 43:12. Middle of the day or middle afternoon, roasting hot. Totally didn't expect that one. So I remember that. Right, put her back. And they are showing out there, so put a zig out a little while ago, and literally as I cast it out, I was sitting the line and it ripped off. Literally, it must have taken it on the drop. As I tightened up, it just fell straight off. So look, so I got a zig out on one. This is on bottom bait. It's a bit lively. Really mental out there at the moment. Those fish are all just like cruising on the top and just splashing around, only about 30 yards out. There's a white one out there. I see it now, just under the surface. You probably won't be able to see it, but it's just under the surface out there. About 30 yards out. Crazy fish, I don't know what it is. That's something that's almost white. I think maybe there's a couple of real ghosties in there. Whether it's one of those. I haven't even got my sunglasses on, polarized lenses, I can still see it. Absolutely mad. But they are everywhere out there. Like I say, they're only about 30 yards out. And then you can see them all just cruising around. And then there's a splash, this sort of like lazy splash on the surface. Mental. So many of them. So I got the zig out, right where they are. Haven't had anything. Apart from that, it's a weird tape. Literally as I cast the first one out, hit the bottom, tightening up, and it ripped off. And then as soon as I picked it up and tightened down, it came off. So since then, absolute nothing. Mental fish. Not fun watching though. No, I didn't know they were all out in front of me. Just hope they stay there this evening, and as it cools down, they get down on the bottom where I'm fishing. They hit me right down in the shallows, but they're not. Just out here in front of me. Never I've been casting out the lead with the zigs, haven't put them off. Just stayed out in front. You see that white one now, to the right of the camera. So this I've got no polarised lens, I can just still see it. And I'm sitting down. Crazy fish. It's right in the middle of that clear patch now. Right. Turn it off, save the battery. I'll be back with the fish later on. £40.7. So it's a bit dark, but still very early. And it's very lively, but it's a beautiful fish. Just try and lift it one more time, but I'll get it back. There we are. Out the back. Nah, it doesn't want out. Very lively. Yeah. I'll get back. lively. Obviously just had to, light levels are down and they just come on the feed. So it's £30.8. Lovely, so it's just cooling down, thank God, and they're coming on the feed. So big fish, that was down the shallows, there's some big fish down there, so get this back, get the rod out again, hope you get another one tonight. Right, here we are. And done really well on. I've gone back to Nash's claw hook, use them a lot, and I don't know why, but I went back to using 2 bits of plastic horn, which I haven't used all week, or the trip I should say. Yeah, 39, sorry, 39, 8. So, welcome fish, after dropping that last one. It should only be back out there about 10 minutes, gone. So, happy days. Right. Not bad. Oh.